Hello and welcome. I'm AfroSmurph, and this is my channel. If you like more content like this, by all means, stick around, because there's more where that came from. Hello everybody, and welcome to this episode, the finale of My Team's Career Month, episode 20. And, we're heading to Abu Dhabi with, here's what we have to do. First off, we have to beat Sergio Perez, basically in every single way possible, with an all-good engine for the first time in, many races. So that's nice. We have 3 sponsors to make happy, so basically get a top 5 finish and they're happy. But here's the thing. On the final race of the season, and we are going against Sergio Perez, who has the faster car, the more skill, and, he has the momentum, although I did finish last before him in last race, so that we've cleared that air a little bit. But without further ado, hopefully we can take this finale head on and charge ahead and get a dub. But see you qualifying.
Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula One season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2.
Alright guys, as you can see, we are coming into Abu Dhabi with, what seems like a little bit of momentum as far as racing Sergio Perez goes, but right now we just got to keep it on the track, because there is a car ahead of us, but hopefully they'll either dive into the pits or stay far enough ahead as we begin our lap as the red lights come off. Easy does it around the turn as we haven't even begun the lap and we're still closing into, I can't tell who it is in front of us, but turn it in. Easy does it around the first or final turn, and let's get the power down as we begin our first lap of qualifying in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. This is the finale, but if you wanted to see the rest of the episodes, please feel free to browse the channel. There will be all of them there. They are not necessarily in order, just by way of my mistakes as far as recording. And anyway, let's carry on as we hit the braking zone and we catch right on up to what looks like an Alfa Romeo, and we'll probably catch him quite nicely as we get the power down, heading into the first straight in the DRS zone as we now open our powers. Lando Norris, that's the current fastest lap of the qualifying session, but that means little considering that it's just begun. Easy on the brakes here, as we don't want to lock up here, as it basically will shoot us off into next week if we miss that turn. DRS powers activate as we're still not catching the car ahead, but we are at least not setting a bad lap time, as we are currently 13th place, which actually means nothing because it's not a time. Easy on the brakes. This is another place, as you can see, that is real easy to lock up. We have to be easy on that and be wary that we don't send ourselves into the barriers or into another car, as the race can tend to get a little bit hairy, as you might imagine. It's the final race of the season. Everybody just balls to the wall as we now set our first lap, and it's good for third fastest. However, will that hold as we come around to lap 2 of qualifying? Easy on the brakes as we now take control from the AI. We're sitting currently in 10th on the soft tires, so we need to improve if we want to make any kind of headway on the McLarens, the Ferraris, and especially Sergio Perez. However, we get the power down as the lap now begins. We're currently currently sitting in 9th place, right behind the McLarens, chasing down the cars in front of us as we're less than a 10th up as well. It's hard to make up time through here as well. It's pretty much flat out as we now are at 2/10 up. Somehow we made up time as we now set a purple sector. Easy does it around the chicane Nice and easy on the brakes, down second gear. We're gonna hold it there as we now try to get on the power and get the power down and let the DRS powers activate at the board. Hopefully we make up a little time. We're now 5/10 up going through in sector 2. We're not necessarily catching the cars ahead of us, as they might have a little bit of DRS, but they might have to fight each other and stay out of their way, as it looks like it's a Mercedes, not sure who, ahead of us. As we are still 3/10 up, as we lost 2/10 through that section. Not my best section, I will admit. That chicane gets me every time. Easy on the brakes again, nice and easy. This chicane I actually usually make up a lot of time, but here we lose some instead, as we're down another 10th, all the way down to 2/10. As we again get the power down, short shift a little bit to see if we can hold traction. Easy does it, nice on the brakes, don't lock up. Nicely done. 3/4 up now as we gain a little bit of time coming through into the hotel section. We still got to get the power down, as we're now 5/10 up, almost half a second as we lose more time, down to 3/10. Not good enough. I know we can do better, as we're still 4/10 up, gain a little bit of time as we cross the line. It's gonna be 5/10 up, and we're good enough for, well, what looks like currently 8th place. So we'll see how that holds up in the race, but we'll see you around the way. One my team career mode, as we are now underway, as we have a lot of wheel spin coming from 6. We're now going around the outside of Alonso. We don't make the move stick, as we have more than one car up our inside. It looks like Sebastian Vettel. We try to stick it in real nicely right through here, but who knows what happens as we're still going through. Ooh, right behind the Ferrari. Dreaded, as we almost bang our wing on them, and we try to go around the outside, getting the power down. It doesn't really help us as we start to lose time to the Ferrari ahead of us. It's not exactly our best exit coming out of that turn. So we'll carry on. No DRS powers, as it's only lap 1, so we just have to stick it in the brake zone and hope Alonso doesn't pass us here. But the 2-time champ is a crafty veteran, and well, I have a lot of wheel spin coming out of that section, and he's on our inside as he looks to make the move. Question is, will he make it stick, as this is going to be a 1-2 sequence as we squeeze him as he goes over the curb, so he has no choice but to get off the throttle, as his car is basically ruined on the underside, most likely. Schwartzman has also made up some places, whether that's on track or due to penalties. Lewis Hamilton, however, is not looking good, as Max Verstappen, the only one who can beat him in the drivers' championship, is actually, well, 4 places ahead of him. So that's not good news for him, as his chances at getting a championship are slipping away. However, we're going to continue to chase down Carlos Sainz, as we're 1.2 back. However, we are gaining time to Fernando Alonso, so we just have to keep our head down, turn the car when we're supposed to, hit the brakes when we need to, and power down. As we come around, the Ferrari is actually gaining to Lewis Hamilton, so if we can gain to Ferrari, we might be able to take Lewis Hamilton before any kind of pit stop, for that matter. However, with that said, I do need your help. As a team owner, we do have to select who our new sponsors are going to be, who our new teammates going to be, even our livery options. So please, in the comments below, make sure to let me know what you think about who our teammates should be, sponsors, anything and everything, as we're looking to compete for a championship by far next season. And I would appreciate your input, as you know, we're all in this together. Excuse the cheesy Disney reference. But as we continue on, we look to catch up to the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz again. Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo both took penalties, so they're behind us, and I'm not worried about them. However, Robert Schwartzman may be under attack from Lando Norris sooner rather than later. Again, that performance gap is just too large for him to reasonably hold up that position from them, at least, for an entire race. DRS should be activated on this lap. So, with that said, we are close enough to make a move on Carlos Sainz in the DRS zone. So, we're setting purple sector 1s. But can we get the power down in time, make up enough time as we now take on the DRS powers of the Ferrari in front of us, Hamilton in front of us, and Valtteri, well, actually doesn't have any. So he's a sitting duck as Lewis Hamilton actually looks to make a move. But the question is, Charles Leclerc actually makes the move instead on Lewis Hamilton, the sitting duck. And it makes it almost makes it stick as the DRS powers again for the Ferrari Open. They're too wide for the Mercedes as Charles Leclerc hits the braking zone ahead, and we have to line up single file as we come through that chicane easy into the braking zone. Not to hit anybody, and Valtteri Bottas actually gets pushed wide somehow. Lewis Hamilton just getting his elbows out a little bit more than probably the team would like, as yellow flags come on as Valtteri Bottas seems to have an issue of some sort. No telling if Hamilton has one yet, but he is losing time to the car ahead, Charles Leclerc. So we'll see if it was the battle or some damage as we carry on to through the pit section. And no, he doesn't seem to have damage, so it looks like he's going to carry on. Because he's got a championship to win, and well, Verstappen and Perez are 3 seconds ahead of Leclerc, who's a second ahead of Hamilton. So he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to come back in this championship. And us, well, we're just trying to put on a good show for the fans, as we don't really have much to play for other than the Constructors' Championship, because it's not entirely wrapped up, or not Constructors' Championship, but 5th place in the Constructors. So the better we do there, the more prize money we win at the end of the year, and well, the better we can do. So DRS powers activate the straight, but the Ferrari is just too far ahead, and we cannot make a move coming into the braking zone. However, we do catch up a lot at the end of it, but not enough to make a move, as we still have Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll behind us chasing. But they're not really making time as our DRS powers activate again, as Hamilton is now a sitting duck. Charles Leclerc is a sitting duck for Hamilton, but no move is made as he's too far back, and it seems to be actually not really gaining any time at all. As I said, a green sector 2 on this lap and a red sector 1. Consistency is not my strong suit at the moment, but we're going to carry on again into getting around in the stadium, the hotel section into lap 5. We want to make some moves quicker, or sooner rather than later, because if we don't, we're going to be stuck in this DRS train, and no overtake's going to be made. That's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to its finest. So we're going to have to be aggressive if we want to make any moves, as we go a little bit wide, but hey, it's all right. We're just racing. As the Ferrari leads the pack of, well, 3-6. Fernando, we look to make a move on the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. We're not quite going to make a move, as we actually outbrake ourselves instead, and we try to ease our way in to Carlos Sainz as DRS powers activate right about now. There's none from Fernando Alonso behind us, so it's just me versus the car ahead, and Carlos Sainz is just that bit faster down the straight. We don't have the power to make up the difference, so again through the chicane we trail in 6th position, as Lando Norris has actually finally made the move on Robert Schwartzman. So well, he's got 1 point. We'll see if he can actually carry that into the end of the race as the DRS powers again activate, but we're not close enough to make a move again on the Ferrari, nor is Hamilton, who's actually had some kind of wiggle and a problem trying to make it through there as we lock up ourselves, and lost time to Leclerc up front. So we set 2 green sectors, and Hamilton loses a little bit of time as Carlos Sainz actually catches up to the back of him. However, Mercedes is my engine supplier, so do I help him out, or do I just race my own race? We'll find out by time we get an opportunity to make a move on any of them. As we set 2 green sectors and 1 and 2. The pit window is now open, so this is the time to push. If we can make some good time here, And in the out lap after that, we should have an opportunity to maybe make up a position, as we are not necessarily being held up, but we are definitely stuck in a DRS train. Again, on the brake zone, we go a little bit deep, try to get the power down early. Still not exactly the fastest way through that turn, but DRS powers are activated, and well, it's not quite again close enough to make a move, so we're just going to ease on into the braking section, as Hamilton is actually quite close to Leclerc again. Without making a mistake this time, he may have an opportunity to make a move. Question is, will he be able to make it stick as his DRS powers activate for the 3 cars behind him? As we look to dive inside, do we make the move stick? We bounce on the curb a little bit, little bit of rubbing, little bit of racing, and we make the move stick around the outside through the chicane. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in 5th place. Now we got to chase down Lewis Hamilton, who is now 2 seconds ahead of us because of that battle. However, we will be vulnerable if we can't break that 1 second mark from Carlos Sainz behind us. And remember, the Ferrari is quite a bit ahead of us on the R&D chart, so it would be an easy feat for him to capitalize on any mistake, as actually Fernando Alonso is now within a second of Carlos Sainz, who we actually dive into the pit lane right behind another Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton. So we're all pitting together. Question is, where will we come out together? In the same exact order as Fernando Alonso has also followed us in. Max Verstappen is well pitted. Sergio Perez continues on. Smart option is not to double stack, as we are now having the medium tires on. And we have come out right behind, looks like Lewis Hamilton, as Nicholas Latifi is around the outside as we make the move stick, because there's no way we can let him pass us, especially that Alfa Romeo being in the way, as we need to attack Hamilton and the Aston Martin ahead of him. As we hit the brakes, easy does it, as we definitely hit him a little bit. We're gonna get the behind him and let him have the position. However, DRS powers do activate for him and myself as well. We go around the left. Can we make the move stick into the braking zone? We are by him. However, we do have to outbrake him as well. As we get on the brakes, both of us lock up. We make the chicane stick. Easy does it. Easy does it. As we're now looking to chase after the very beautiful green Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel and some other cars, as Charles Leclerc has also got 2 cars ahead of us. So we have not necessarily, we've actually gained time to Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, obviously, because we've passed them. But the real fight is now beginning, as Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez have all stayed out. So we have to make up that time as best we can, especially to Max Verstappen, because for some reason he's a couple of seconds ahead of us. He just booked it. He missed the train by a little bit. So we may not catch him with all this traffic, but we're looking to make a move on Vettel, just a little peek, see if his mirrors are working just right. We're going to turn again onto another lap as they have all pit. And we continue on now into Lando Norris's pit, right behind what looks like Carlos Sainz. So Carlos Sainz has actually jumped us in the pit. He's right in front of us. However, all we have to do is stay right here and make a move on the inside through the chicane. Nice little lock up, and we make the move stick. He seemed to get a little scared as we do a little bit of drift coming out of that turn and get the power down. However, he will have DRS powers, so we're going to have to protect the inside as best we can as we get the power down, and DRS does not open for us, but you can see his open right there through that camera shot as he's getting closer. Is he going to make a move around the outside? Does he have it? No, he does not. He backs out. He did not have it in him to make that move stick. So we're going to carry on through the chicane, but he will have DRS again. Another chance. Again, DRS powers activate. I have none. I'm a sitting duck, as looks like Lewis Hamilton is making a move on Carlos Sainz instead. And he is around the outside, and he's looking to actually attack us a little bit. We make our position stick. And Carlos Sainz is also fighting his way through. They're too wide there still. They keep it too wide, and we're clear, free and clear But Carlos Sainz has hungry Lewis Hamilton for positions, and he's not going to give it up as a 7-time champion just so easily. So I don't expect him to. But Carlos Sainz did make the move stick for now. However, there is another 6 laps to go. No pit stops remaining. It's all about the race at this point. As we do get a little bit squirrely coming through there. Ease on the brakes now. Consistency pays off, but I'm seeming to not be able to show that. However, we will continue this race as best we can, and hopefully not lose another position, as Charles Leclerc is now 8 seconds ahead of us, so it's not likely that we're getting a podium, but we do set a purple sector ahead of us. Or is that 2 seconds? Forgive me, that's 2 seconds ahead of us. We are going to try and fight for a podium, but it's more likely that Carlos Sainz is going to attack us than we are Charles Leclerc. So the best thing we can do is try and break the toe and hunt down Charles Leclerc as best we can. His DRS powers activate for Carlos Sainz. He is within 1 second, but he is not close enough to make a move into the chicane. As you can see, Charles Leclerc making his way through there as we follow suit. As it is actually Lewis Hamilton being attacked by Fernando Alonso, champion on championship conduct. And Fernando Alonso makes the move stick through the chicane. I'm not sure Hamilton's going to like that move, as you can see that our front wing has got a little chip in it, but we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that at all. We're just going to continue racing as the Ferrari still continues to try and bear down on us as we look to continue the fight against, both of them, as they're our rivals. Well, actually, everybody's our rivals, but they're the closest to us in the Constructors' Championship, and whom I want to stay ahead of. So we set a fairly decent lap with a purple and 2 greens, but it's still not quite enough to catch Charles Leclerc yet, as the Carlos Sainz of the Ferrari is losing time to us. He's 1.2 seconds now, 1.3 behind us now as we hit the braking zone in the chicane. And here we go. We get the power down, and it doesn't look like he has DRS powers, so I'm not too worried about that. Robert Schwartzman, falls all the way down to 14th, as Lewis Hamilton is just barely in front of his teammate in 7th. So they have fallen off. I'm not sure if that's focus or what, but that is not the way you want to end your season, especially if you're right there competing for a championship for Lewis Hamilton. Fernando Alonso is beginning to walk away from him, as we're making a little bit of time here and there to Charles Leclerc. Not enough I can feel comfortable in saying that we're going to attack him by the end of the race, but enough to say that, well, we are making up time. As we are actually about the same distance between the Ferraris and myself, equally between Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. So, well, we're equally able to attack and defend at the same time. So, hopefully, we can do one or the other. Make this a little more interesting for you. And again, if you like what you see, please feel free to browse the channel. There's also other content on there, whether it's Halo, etc., etc. I play other games, and I'd love if you guys would join me sometime in the game sphere, whether it's Halo, online Formula 1, NBA, whatever. But back to the race now, as we are actually catching up a lot to Charles Leclerc's worth. Within 1.2 seconds now, we get the power down as he's starting to pull away. Well, not really away, but he's staying there tight at 1.1 seconds as both of us got the power down. Neither of us have DRS as we hit the braking zone, so we're gonna have to really fight it out on the street, as there are no other pit stops to be made throughout this race. And in Abu Dhabi, tire wear is critical, and in season 1 his car is significantly better than mine. As we roll over the curbs again through the chicane, Carlos Sainz is nowhere in sight as far as being bothering us. So we're just gonna carry on fighting this other Ferrari and Charles Leclerc, and maybe take a podium in the final race of the season. So as we come around the final turn of lap 11, lap 12 begins with us putting the power down within 1 second. Not a DRS zone, but that's good news for us, as we are going to need to stay within this time frame if we're going to attack him by the end of the lap or within the next couple of laps, because there are 2 DRS zones, as I said, on this track. So we need to be able to attack in one, if not both of them. Maybe even play some kind of strategy, as we are definitely within 1 second of him coming around into the detection zone. Easy does it on the brakes. Get the power down precisely, as we do not lose a ton of speed to Leclerc. DRS powers activate. Power down. Attack, 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 attack. Here we go. Here we go. Are we close enough? Easy does it into the braking zone. Not quite close enough, but we are closer, as the next DRS zone is about to activate. And it's open right on up, and we're looking to attack again the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. But again, we can't make up the overall performance difference just yet, as we are coming into the chicane with a little bit of lockup. No tire smoke, just enough to keep ourselves honest and, well, know that we made a mistake. A mistake that may cost us in the end of the race. So here we go. Easy does it on the brakes, as we're in the hotel section now. Beautiful shot. We go underneath and around and through the hotel and to the marina and to the final turns going on to lap 13. We're getting closer and closer, and we need to attack. It is time, because if we don't do it sooner than later, well, we might not be able to do it at all, because who knows if we're going to be able to keep up this pace for the rest of the race, especially with my engine being yellow, possibly turning to red. So we'll see what happens. And with no front wing, well, we have no choice but to fight. This is the final race. It's all or nothing. As we're so close, very close, within 3/10 as we're coming around the hairpin. Nice and easy on the brakes. DRS is going to open. We need to get the power down. We need to get the power down, because, well, that's the only way we're going to make the pass is DRS open. We're going to swing around left side. Nope. We're going to go around the right-hand side as he looks to squeeze us out a little bit. We make the move stick, hit the brakes. Easy does it. It's completely legal. No rubbing, but rubbing is racing. And he's going to attack us through the next DRS zone because, well, unfortunately, I don't have it. Easy on the brakes. We cover off the racing line as he looks to try and make a move. We don't let him do it because, well, we're not gonna give it up so easy. Around some turns, he's still continuing to chase. He's still so close. Easy does it onto the braking zone. He may have tapped us just a little bit. Couldn't quite tell. As we come around again, he still has his front wing, and we're still racing, so we're going to carry on. He has not been able to pass us. We're just that much of a roadblock for him. And we're probably holding him up, but I don't care. This is a race, and we're trying to take a podium and some momentum into the 2022 season. As we again get on the brakes, no move being made just yet, as he doesn't have the pace to keep it around the outside as far as it seems, or keep up with us for that matter. He's losing time. He's almost a whole second behind us now, 8/10 now, as we continue to go around this track on lap 14, the final lap, as we lock up, get the power down. He's still within 1 second, as he now will have DRS powers through probably this section, and if he does pass us, the next one. So, will he make a move? Not quite. He's not gaining as fast as I thought he would, as we now enter the braking zone, set in the purple sector 1. He's still not quite close enough, but he is pushing us through the chicane more or less, and we do hold him up with the lack of performance in the corners. The only thing we have going for us on our car is the engine power. So everything else is kind of on catch-up, as his DRS powers are activated, and he's now trying to go around the outside. We leave him enough space. Will he be able to make the move stick around the outside? No, not quite, as we do keep him behind us, crucially, through here, as that was the final DRS zone, so he's going to have to make it on track the old-fashioned way from here on out. Question is, will he be able to, as we are now entering the stadium, the hotel section, as he hits the back of our cars and breaks his front wing clean. Oh, that was close, as I could feel it. I could feel that one. That was a good hit. He punted us in that one. But with that said, he may keep his position as we do lose a little bit of downforce, it feels like, coming around the final turn. But that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you watching. Smurf Gang is on the podium. And with that said, everybody, again, I want your input. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think we should do next season. And Max Verstappen has officially won the Constructors' Championship. We kept ahead of the Ferraris, and we have some good momentum going into next season. Like, comment, subscribe, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I'm AfroSmurph. Peace.
Congratulations to everyone at the team.